We pretty much turned this hour into the Kenny Loggins hour, haven't we?
Why don't we do that every day?
You know what? It wouldn't be a bad thing. Maybe that'll help us get him to come here on Friday when he's in town.
Please. We'll tell you about it.
The campaign is starting.
Oh, it's already started.
So before we talk about our campaign, somebody beat us to the punch. Eric Sanchez is a huge Kenny Loggins fan, but he needs some help to see Kenny live. And we're not talking about buying a ticket to the Birchmere.
Because he's already going to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Eric started a Kickstarter campaign to pay for a concert in his living room. I love this idea. So the goal is to raise $30,000, and so far, well, he's about $24,000 short. But still a little bit of time, 19 days to go. With us right now to talk about what inspired him to get this campaign going. I love the concept, but where did this whole idea come from?
I believe it was about a week ago at this point, and I'd been on his website, and they were advertising that, you know, in light of his new album that's going to be coming out with his band, the Blue Sky Riders, that you could have him come into your living room for a set amount, and he would play a 75-minute acoustic set.
Wow.
And then, you know, the gears started turning, and the thing was, I was like, well, you know, I wish I had the money to pay for this, but how am I going to do it?
Right.
And I was like, the answer is literally right in front of what I've been staring at for the past 7 minutes. So I started this Kickstarter campaign, and the following day there was an article in the AV Club, and then that just has kind of steamrolled. And over the weekend, there have been a ton of media hits. We were in Gawker. The Huffington Post mentioned the campaign. I spoke with a few radio stations over the weekend. So it's really kind of blossomed into this really organic thing, and at this point we're now, I believe, approaching $7,000.
So why should I give you $10 so that Kenny Loggins can come to your living room?
Well, so here's the thing, and I'm glad you mentioned that because today I actually launched a new incentive tier. So for $20, Kenny can be in everyone's living room because we're going to live stream the performance. And at this point, we've also been selling incentives. So for $300, the first 20 people could actually guarantee themselves a seat in the show. Those have sold out.
Oh, okay.
We don't have
those
those
are
anymore.
sold out.
They're sold out.
Right. All right.
And yesterday I also launched a special incentive tier for $750. You have a guaranteed seat in the show, a special limited edition T-shirt, and I will make my household famous guacamole for you to enjoy during the show.
Allison might be
Whatever it takes.
So you shared with me, is it okay to share what you shared with me before about any contact?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So you actually have spoken to Loggins.
That's right. We actually had a Skype meeting on Saturday.
Okay.
It was pretty early in the morning.
How was it? How was he? What kind of guy is he?
Super gracious guy.
Good.
Really cool, down to earth.
I would be so disappointed if he was anything different.
Yeah, I would hope, especially since I'm trying to get him into my living room at this point.
That he wasn't like, yeah, kid, how much have you raised?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. 28.5. Sorry, kid.
Okay,
nice
who's
try.
showing Footloose? Let me just explain to you that Kenny Loggins, back me up here, is so much more than the soundtrack of Footloose.
I agree with that. You know, he did do a ton of great theme songs. There was that. There was Danger Zone, Meet Me Halfway, I'm All Right. Those are all the songs he's known for.
Exactly. But we know because we were sharing some of our favorites. We both like This Is It. We like Heart to Heart.
That's right.
I'm a huge Michael McDonald fan as well, so I love What a Fool Believes. With them together.
That's right.
So there's more to him. Okay.
That's what I like.
Caddyshack.
Yeah.
I know. I just want people to understand. I mean, he is a super soulful, talented musician. He's been making music for, what, more than 40 years. I'm excited that you even know who he is, if I can be really honest.
I always tell people, at least musically, I'm like 30 years older than I actually am.
Okay.
So, and I like to say my dentist is like my DJ at this
I know,
point.
we heard that.
That's right. It was one of the articles.
That's right.
Eric, I just came up with another tier for you for people like Allison. Maybe for like $1,500, they could actually like request a song that Kenny would then play.
Do a little tambourine in the background.
At the show.
You know, those artists usually don't like requests, but I think we could make any type of special exciting. Exactly.
What happens if you don't reach your goal? What do you do with the money?
Besides crying.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, well, a lot of crying, probably a lot of soul searching, I think.
Right.
But
What's wrong with me?
if we don't hit the goal, you know, these are all pledges at this point, and that's something I've reiterated. So if we don't hit that $30,000 goal, then no one gets charged, and there's no really risk or penalty, and Kickstarter is really cool about it.
And he's also No, you said it, looking for fan support as far as getting his next project out, too. So.
That's right. He's also embarked on his own venture on Kickstarter. He has his own campaign where he's trying to raise money for his next album with his new band, the Blue Sky Riders.
That's awesome.
Aww.
Yeah.
I think it's a great concept. I think it's a great campaign. I love the fact that, the fans can get involved, and hopefully you're able to get the money, and the payoff would be huge.
And no harm, no foul if you don't. The money,
Absolutely. I hope so. It's been a fun ride, nevertheless. So let's do it.
Okay, so, and then we worked out a little side deal that we know that Kenny Loggins is in town on the 15th at the Birchmere.
That's right.
And so the next time that Eric Skypes with him, he's going to invite him on Good Day, and Eric can come back on as well, and we'll have a little,
I think that'd be fantastic.
We'll work it out. That'd be awesome.
We'll work it out.
Love to have him here.
Okay, you're all right.
Thank you. Nobody's worrying about me, that's for sure.
Well played.
Just give me a sign.
You got it. 10:22 right now on this Monday morning. Coming up a little bit later, we're going to head to the cafe. We're going to celebrate President Obama's birthday today with one of his favorite foods. First, though, Stephen Colbert breaks character, dishing out some fatherly advice during an